We live. People deluded. I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. It means a lot, people. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Good afternoon, better yet. I hope you're all well and safe. I hope you're all in good spirits. Whoever you are, wherever you are on this planet, I hope you're all doing well and safe. Apologies while I just adjust something. Green screen still quite off, but it is what it is. We move. You're not here for graphics, you're here for content. Like I said, I hope you're all doing well and safe. Please make sure you hit the like button. Let's get that one going early doors. As you're arriving, please hit the like button. It does not cost a thing. The best things, apologies, in life are free. Nice to see a lot of you are tuned in. Big up yourself, Junior, for becoming a member of my channel. It means the world to me, people. It really does. Thank you very much for doing that, and I hope to continue to not only bring you good content, but those of you that are also members and everyone who just watches me anyway. So once again, thank you for doing that. Big up yourself, S. You always here. You know, you're like a bad smell in a positive way. Big up yourself, M. You know, happy Friday, DG Nation. Come on, man. You know the thing, as you said, hit the like button. It does not cost a thing. There's 17 of you. Can there be 17 likes? Big up yourself, T. You're definitely right on that. It is gang business. B, we're gonna get going, man. Nice to see you here again. Hamid, thank you for tuning in from early. FA was actually in the live stream I was doing with Rants, I guess. You were dying in Rants' live. Yes, I was, man. Matisse and Rants were killing me. And as an Arsenal fan, when you speak about football, you can't laugh about too much anyways. But to see them two go at it, and you know, Rants has bars for days. So it was crazy, man. Big up yourself as well, man. I hope you're all in good spirits. As I said, you know, M was there as well. Man said Matisse is going to buy a new waistcoat. Shout out to him. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Now, we're going to get into the Everton versus Arsenal game. Not going to cap, trying to avoid it, people, because it's a mad thing. You know, it's 5th place versus 15th. You know, they've got Carlo Ancelotti. They're playing well. They started the season well. Did they not beat Spurs? You know, they drew against Liverpool. They've had some other good results. They had a bit of a flutter in between, and now it seems like they've got over it and they're firing. Like I said, not that you can say, sadly, Arsenal is a big game anymore, but when you look at it, they drew against Everton and they drew against Liverpool. Apologies, or did they lose? I think they drew, but that was the best derby I've seen, the Merseyside derby, for a minute. So there was a lot of fight. Yes, there is injuries, my guy, but you can't rule them out at all. Can't rule them out at all. But as I was saying, you know, they beat Spurs. They played well against, you know, United had to come from behind. What else happened? They played well against Liverpool, as I've just said. They've beaten Chelsea. They've beaten some credible teams. They are a good team. Carlo Ancelotti's got them playing very well. They have had their issues. I do think they do present opportunities too much to the opposition. I do think defensively, you know, they have made improvements, but there's still thingies there. I do think as well, when they're missing one or two of their names, obviously anyone would, there's a drop off in quality. So there is targets to potentially hit. But like I said, you know, it's a tough game. They sit 5th through no accident. They're there because they deserve it. We all know how good of a manager Carlo Ancelotti is and what he brings to the table. So he's a quality manager. We all know he's got his mark on that team. I already said, going into the Burnley games, these next 10 days, big game for our defenders. If you don't want a header, if you don't want to clear your lines, if you don't want to deal with aerial threats, forget about it. Because against Burnley, we knew what was to expect. Against Southampton, you know, we didn't concede from a set piece, but we conceded via other silliness. Everton, when you think of Everton, you think of a lot. They've got a lot of technical qualities. I think of Carlo Ancelotti as well. I think of a team that's played a couple of systems. They played a 3-5-2. They played a 4-4-2. We've seen a variation of a 4-3-3 of sorts. But they put a lot of crosses into that box, and they've got the top goal scorer, one of the Premier League's top goal scorers in Dominic Calvert-Lewin. How many goals has he scored with his noggin? You know, he's going to want everything in the air. He's going to want to knock it down. He's going to be someone they're going to play up on. Set pieces, you know, make sure you don't let him elevate on people, you know. Make sure you're following your runners. Make sure you're cutting out the initial cross. If you can, stop the early cross. And this is where I'm going to need my front line more than ever, you know. Obviously, I want them to score, but I need them to stand up to be counted. And obviously, you know, it's been a positive week by Arsenal's poor standards, if we're honest with ourselves, because, you know, Theo Walcott scored against us, but at least we didn't lose. You know, it's a point drop. It's 2 points dropped for Southampton, but it was a point gained for us. You know, we didn't lose. We scored a goal from open play. we've got a point. You know, there's not too much I can argue about. Reality is we know the same issues still remain. We know a point does nothing for us. And although, you know, you could see, I'm not going to say you could see what it meant to the players or Arteta, because they wasn't waxing lyrical about a point, but you could see what even getting a point does. So you can see how demoralizing, if we lose to Everton, it is. Obviously, we lose, apologies, further ground in the season, more so than we already have. If you can say we're competing for anything, it won't be nice. And again, you lose to Everton, it could get long for you. It really could get long for Arteta. The players, you know, a lot of these players are not good enough, but reality is it's the manager's head to go first. And it's very concerning at Arsenal right now. The games aren't getting any easier. You know, we've got Everton away, we've got Chelsea on Boxing Day. Forgive me if I'm wrong, people, but do we not have Manchester City within the quarterfinals of the League Cup to come? The games are not getting any easier. You know, we come out of January, I'm sure we've got either Brighton or West Bromwich Albion. Don't shoot me, but the games are coming thick and fast. We can't afford to feel sorry for ourselves, people. Bro, the standards are low. I have high standards of myself, but looking at this team, you know, it's a madness. And I'm upset with Gabriel missing out. You know, 2 stupid bookings, really. You know, he didn't need to kick the ball away, getting too tight to Theo Walcott unnecessarily, and he's on the halfway line. So again, could you have let your midfielders do that? Not that they were even in the vicinity, but we're losing our, you know, our best defender outright, and probably our best defender in the air outright, against a team that are going to put crosses in, and a team that have a striker with Calvert-Lewin. Let me not downplay him. He scored a variety of goals, but the bulk of them are reactionary finishes, and the bulk of them are with their head. So if you was going to try and capitalize on Arsenal's poor form and the fact that we can't keep a clean sheet and we struggle to deal with, you know, crosses and whatnot anyways, despite the fact we've only conceded once from a set piece, you're sure as hell going to put more balls into that box now, people, because their best defender isn't there. And I'm begging, you know, David Luiz, Rob Holding, Mustafi if he's thrown in. I'm begging any Marie, even any centre half. If you're given an opportunity, stand up to be counted. Make sure you have a good game and you give Arteta a headache going into the next game, going into the League Cup game against City, and obviously we've got Chelsea on Boxing Day. Again, Xhaka will play no part. But I could, it's a tough one. I'm going to get into it, but I'm pretty sure Bellerin's going to be back into the team. I don't want him to be back into the team. But I don't, and all of these things, but I think he'll be back into the team, people, really and truly, which is quite sad. You're right, Wayne. Brighton before New Year's, which again can get long. These can get long for us. It can get long for us. We're going to get into all that FA, but what are you lot saying? Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Big up yourselves. Oh, the only thing with Marie, if we play a high line, I'm scared because he hasn't got that much pace, man. And I just think he's a thingy, man. He is a great poacher, and again, for me, it's about winning the first and second balls. A draw was not a better result for Southampton. They were leading, bro. They were down to 10 men. They're 4th in the table. At least they were 4th prior to that game. Arsenal can't buy a win at this moment in time. A draw was not a good result for Southampton. You know, this was a bet. There was no better time for Southampton to potentially play us and try and end the fact that they ain't won here since 1987. That's any team we play. You know, if they don't get full points, it's 2 points dropped. You know, it was a point gained in similar circumstances against Leeds. It was 2 points dropped for Leeds. It was a point gained for us. So I'm not too sure. Not too sure. Again, a part of me wants to go El Nene and Maitland in the middle, but a part of me also wants to retain Ceballos and El Nene in the middle because of that desperation. It's not like we can play anybody else. Obviously, with that being said, that would obviously mean Maitland Niles at the back, people. Like Ched said, please make sure you're hitting the like button. It does not cost a thing. It does not cost a thing. It really doesn't. What have you said? Would you consider resting Saka and aware of him getting burnt out? I am as well, but I don't think we can afford to rest him right now, really and truly. And I can't disagree with that. Can't disagree with that. You know. So yeah, man, why waste any time? Big up the 66 people locked in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. We might as well just get into it straight off the bat, people. You needed a little juice there. Let's go, man. Let me share the screen. And let's get into this, man. Sharing the screen in 5. No, not my entire screen. this Everton tab, please share that screen. And I'm pretty sure you lot can see my screen. I thought, let me do the preview in a bit of a different way, folks. Not every day, upload a video and let me try a bit of an interactive thing. So this is exactly what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna get into. You can see Arteta's comments here. So we're gonna be here for a long run. So let's actually quickly recap and look at a couple of statistics, people. Obviously, we drew 1-1 in our last game against Southampton. We know it's not good enough. We know a draw doesn't help us. But it is a point gained. We did not lose, which is the major thing for me. If we did lose, the hole gets even bigger. Like, we're not talking about another defeat. We're simply talking about the fact of we ain't got 3 points. So that I'm not going to say there's positives, but you have to be wary of kicking a man when they're down. And I think some of these players are weak mentally. Some of them don't stand up to be counted, but things can always be a lot worse. Away from that, as you lot know, since Mikel Arteta's first game in charge, obviously since Boxing Day last year, we've been shown 7 red cards, which, 4 more than any other Premier League team. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang managed to end, his run without a goal at the Emirates. It only took him 648 minutes. Theo Walcott returned, and, I don't know if this is, I think you have to rate Giroud off this, and I think it shows it just sums up Theo Walcott's career. But, he scored another goal at the Emirates and he's up there for top goal scorers here. For those of you who care about these sort of statistics, against Southampton, the average age of Arsenal's lineup against Southampton, well, it's meant to say was 24 years of age and 349 days. You'd have to go back to September of 2012, the last time that happened, people. If you care about win percentages, again, these can be misconstrued and stats are needed, but sadly, Mikel Arteta has the lowest of the bunch. He's, you can see it there. I'm sure he'd want to be closer to Arsene Wenger, and remember his statistic. He's got that 10% more, so I'm not sure that's going to help him. Obviously, we talk about our defense improving, and our defense is going to have to be spot on to have half a chance against this free Everton scoring side, who are up there among top goal scorers in the league. We've gone 10 league games without a clean sheet, which is obviously our longest run since we've moved to the Emirates, people, which puts us at problems. One benefit, depending on if you're an optimist, for all of the heat Arteta is getting, he has the exact same number after 50 Arsenal games as Herbert Chapman had in his first 50 of the for the club, people. So I'm not saying he's going to be Herbert Chapman, but it could be a lot worse. Sadly for Arteta, the statistics are there. We've only won 13 out of 33 games. I wonder how much we've lost and drawn, but either way, that statistic isn't positive. Looking at this, people, like I said earlier, Arsenal have won 18 and lost none in their last 26 league matches against Southampton since they last won in 1987. That was kind of my point. Now, before we continue, we're in a tough run. Now, we've already been in a tough run. I can list the teams. We should have been thinking differently from when we went into Leicester and Everton. Everton, Leicester, Wolves, Spurs. We're in a tough run of games, people. We've been in a rough, tough patch of games. Burnley, the games weren't coming thick and fast, and we needed to stand up to be counted. Unfortunately, we failed to do that. The players can't afford to feel sorry for themselves, people, because you look at it. Personally, I thought this was in the League Cup. I could be wrong. I'm sure we've got to play City in the League Cup, but either way, I'm sure that's the League Cup. We can't be playing Man City in the league and then Chelsea. The more noise would have been made. But as you lot know, we've got Everton away. I don't need to tell you why that's a tough game. In fact, we're talking about it now. I'm pretty sure that's Manchester City in the League Cup. So again, just want to put in a credible performance, and as long as you're in the competition, you might as well try to win it. Chelsea on Boxing Day, pressure on both managers. Chelsea have lost 2 games in a row. We can't buy a win. I'm sure neither manager wants to lose that. And again, this is crucial why we need to try and get 3 points off Everton. Everton, you've got to treat both these games like a cup final. You've got Brighton away. Last couple of times we've gone there has not been positive, people. So again, it's a tough end to the year, people. And the sad thing about it, if you're Everton, you're saying, "Oh, let's go out there and show us and show the world why we're worthy of challenging for top 4, of why Carlo Ancelotti came to this club, justifying why money was spent. Let's go and, like I said, Everton started the season strongly. They had a tiny little blip. I'm sure they want to keep it up now, keep going and things like that. And I'm sure Alex Iwobi wants to play because he saw his former teammate of both clubs, come on, well, score for Southampton. So again, like I said, you've got West Bromwich Albion. They've got Big Sam now, Sam Allardyce. Sam Allardyce with his Bolton teams never liked us. And I never liked going to West Bromwich Albion away in the last couple of years. Obviously, we've got Newcastle in the FA Cup. So it's a tough game. If we look at my notes, people, please let me quickly, before I go, please let me know, are you lot enjoying this sort of way of doing it, or is there no need for it this way? I thought it would have been a bit better than the mundane things. At least you see things. Big up yourselves. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Please make sure you hit the like button. A man said I was like the ref in Rance's stream. They were going off. I was just happy, I guess both fans of both clubs in United and Chelsea is bored of getting at Arsenal, so they wanted to tear off each other's heads. But big up Rance and Matisse, man. It was quite good, man. Rico has said, do you think the draw against Southampton a better result than the previous results before? As a United fan, I saw more intensity. Based on the simple fact that we got a point, yeah. I'm not too sure, because for me, I see the same old reactive play. I see the same old lacking to create. For me as well, again, crucially, when we've played Leicester was a bit different because we didn't do anything with the possession and they took the game in the second half. But you can include Leicester, definitely Wolves, definitely Aston Villa, to a degree Burnley, Spurs is away. But we haven't been the protagonist. We haven't tried to take the game to the opposition. That doesn't necessarily mean gun ho and stuff. I would love that, because we ain't seen that, but it means just taking authority, and especially at home, and even Southampton, you would, if you didn't know anything about football, Rico, which you do, who would you think is the home team there? They took the lead after 18 minutes. So I'm not sure I saw more intensity. I saw the same old mistakes. I saw players hiding. I did see players looking short on confidence. I'm hoping that little point that we got against them will give our players some sort of hope going into the next game. But will it? I don't know, people. I really don't have a clue. We'll have to see. Really and truly, we'll have to see. Big up everybody. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. It doesn't cost a thing. I don't know why my other tab opened up there. And where's my live? I'm meant to be seeing this live, what you lot are doing and whatnot. But I don't know why the screen's gone. But either way, people, big up the 108 people locked in. So yeah, man, it's a game of fine margins. In short, I do expect a lot of crosses and whatnot, but we'll have to see, man. What have you said? Chelsea fan from South Africa, but had to sign up to the DG Nation. I really appreciate that, my guy. Big up yourself. Raz, you're late, but we've really just got into it. And like Wayne said, better late than never, my dude. Better late than never. DG, how are you going to watch the under-23 game? Big up. The streams out there. If you know where to look, that's all I can say. Could you zoom into the dock a little bit more? Yeah, I can. One sec, my guy, when I go back after. Let me just take a couple more questions. I prefer the live streams. Love the content. My guy, if that's what the people want, that's why I've been doing the live streams. I'm not, you lot of the marketplace. You lot of the consumer. So it is what it is, man. Please make sure you're subscribed on Twitch. Hey, my guy, I'm going to make sure I pattern up Twitch. I know I've been very nonchalant, I know I've been very nonchalant about you guys and whatnot, but I promise I'm going to be back. Sam has said, love this style of video. All right, cool. So if this is what you want, this is what we go with, man. Thank you for telling me, man. Thank you for telling me. Big up everybody. I hope you're all doing well and safe. We should double up on James. Apparently, I don't know. Again, I'm not knowing in the know with Everton, but apparently James Rodriguez will be missing out. So again, he could always play and things like that, but we'll have to see. Ryan has said, Louise and William news about wanting Arteta sacked. Your thoughts? Go and check my last two videos. I've spoken about that. I guess it's more of the same of what we hear about players concerned or turning on him and things like that. David Luiz, I don't want to see that, because Arteta, since the moment you've came in, has made you feel important. Obviously, he's an experienced player, but he's made you captain. He's used you. William, he's given you a 3-year deal, and obviously played you when you've been poor. He's only dropped you when he needed to drop you last week. And even then, I don't agree with it, but I don't think Pepe can turn around and say, why am I dropped for this game? He can on the basis of, William's been playing poor and then given an opportunity. Pepe didn't cover himself with any blade of glory necessarily in our last game, so he can't complain. I would start Maitland-Niles, and I don't think Maitland-Niles was bad, but I don't necessarily think he seized his opportunity. Neither do I think with Ceballos, really and truly. So again, I wouldn't even mind Cedric and Reece Nelson getting looks in, really and truly. So yeah, big up yourselves, people. Big up yourselves. Ade said, asking as a neutral, do you really think this situation you're in as a team is reversible? And if yes, who needs to change? The man at the top of the club. That's the only thing that's going to change it. It's the only thing that's going to change it, really and truly. Either way, it's all good. You considering merch? Don't know if you lot will even buy the merch, but if you lot want that, we'll get on that, man. And I agree with that, but James might not be playing, and that's silly. They've got 10 players. You focus on Calvert-Lewin, Seamus Coleman, who's fit, might take advantage. You can't afford to do that. I don't necessarily rate someone like Sigurdsson, but he's a man that is very creative and has found a bit of form and is decent from set pieces. Someone like Michael Keane, again, I don't necessarily rate Michael Keane, but when you look at the statistics, I think he's 8th in the league for passes. Now, I'm not saying that he's Beckenbauer or anything, but the last time we had someone that scored quite high for passes was Spurs, away at Spurs against Højbjerg. And did we mark him out the game? My point being, you try and stop these things. Like, what does that, if I'm a striker, if I'm a manager, this tells me, get onto Michael Keane. He might not be able to get that ball further up the field. His pass might be why Calvert-Lewin isn't going to get that cross eventually from a winger. So these are the things I want to see. So as much as I agree with they're the danger men, by that logic, they'd have 9 other players and you can't disrespect anyone. And to be fair, those 2 players make the difference, but there's a reason that they're up there and it's not just down to them. There's an 11 players out there. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Apparently, we're not even on 100 likes and there's 140 of you here, people. You lot are doing me dirty. Sometimes the streams, them get no love, but we keep pushing regardless, people. I'm going to get back into it in a sec. I just need YouTube to actually just allow me to assess my live again, because for those who don't know, FYI, I normally have a YouTube tab open where it lets me see the strength of the stream and how many people are in there and the rest of it, people. So yeah, man, let's carry on with what we're actually talking about. Going back to the Everton documentary, somebody said, can you zoom in a bit? Hey, that's not how you zoom in. How do you zoom in on how the hell do you zoom in on Chrome? I apologies, my guy, man. I don't know how you zoom in. I can make it bigger for you. Oh yeah, you can do this, innit? Is that big enough? Well, let's go 150. Cool, 150 is big enough still. All right, cool, boom. So like I said, it's a tough round of games. And these are my notes, like I've already said, we're going to skip one, first and second balls for me, people. And what does this mean? This means the crosses, you've got to earn the right to play. Midfield, you're going to be in for a busy day. First, seconds, third, get on it. You're against Everton, you're going to have to earn the right to play. Make sure you win your first and second balls, because that's another thing Dominic Calvert-Lewin and the rest of them will be able to do. Crosses from wide areas. This is self-explanatory. They've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, they've got Richarlison, they've got people that want it on their head. But to get it on their head, you need to stop their fullbacks or the players that are going to cross it. Stop that first-time cross. Stop their midfielders getting on the ball as well, people, So like I said, the crucial thing is how we deal defensively with how we deal defensively from wide areas, how we deal with threats in the air. Obviously, they're not a long ball team. They've got quality dotted in and around the team. And I'm quite happy when I see rumors that James might not be playing, Allen might not be playing. He's been a bit mixed. Delph might not be playing because he's got an engine. They've got Sigurdsson, they've got Gomez, they've got quality. You can't underestimate them. And crucially for me in recent weeks, man said Everton, how can they beat themselves, people? That's meant to say Leicester, 2 teams that we failed against you guys, and we've got you lot on Boxing Day. True say last time we played, you won in the FA Cup final, but if we play tomorrow, despite the fact Chelsea have lost 2 in a row, who would you lot back, people? And once again, reiterating, stop the cross. But they're a good team, people. And they're, like I said, they've had a little blip, but they've been playing well. Looking at recent results, United had to come from behind. Again, that's probably more down to United playing poorly. One thing I want you to see here is there's not too many clean sheets, is there, people? Fair enough. There's a clean sheet against Chelsea and there's one against Leicester, but there's not many clean sheets here. What does that tell you, people? Like I said, for as good as I think Ben Godfrey's been, even Michael Keane, I don't rate him, but he's been all right. What did I say earlier? They give you opportunities like Southampton, and it's down to us to score them. The problem is we're not firing. I don't want us to respect them in a healthy way. They're ahead of us in the table. They're 10 places above us. They're doing well. They have a blueprint. They're fighting for their manager. But at the same time, don't respect them. Don't think, woe is me. Don't do what happened against Southampton, where you went a goal down and it looked like players were resigned to defeat, because you can't keep expecting and looking to a 19-year-old Bukayo Saka to try a little dribble. That's what I want to see. I want to see midfielders trying that difficult pass, obviously being sensible, but trying that difficult pass. Fullbacks being brave on the ball, carrying it a bit, doing things, whatever your position, doing things equivalent to Saka. As much as I think David Luiz is a bit of a train wreck as a footballer for this football club, he's a bit brave in possession. We know he's mistake prone, but I want to see a bit of that. I'm looking at Sabas and El Nene, because we all know when Xhaka is allowed to play again, you know, he's probably going to walk into midfield, and you'd hope so when Partey is back, Partey plays. So you don't need to go and prove that you need to be the guys for Arteta. El Nene, you've been poor the last two games off the back of a decent start to the season. Ceballos, like last year, you know, you've really struggled. I don't want to see you playing good in patches. I want to see consistency. Maitland-Niles, if you start, seize your opportunity. Pepe, much better performance is required if you want to make a meal of things. Because again, I do think it's unfair if you're dropped straight away, but I can't have any complaints. And which I do think is going to happen, Everton, against Everton, Arteta is going to bring William back in. You can't really complain. Fans, we can complain because William's been poor, but player for player, you can't complain. Obviously, this is Arteta's old stomping ground. He's probably held in higher regard at Everton than he is at Arsenal. Fortunately, he's Arsenal's player. 3 points would do a lot. If for Arteta we do not get 3 points, it's long. You know what to expect from Everton. They're in good form, like a couple of teams we've been playing. It's, you know, I feel a bit like a broken record in these last couple of live streams, people, because I'm saying the same old things to you lot. You know, this was them versus Leicester. You know, they obviously, the goal scorer Richarlison's there, and obviously Mason Holgate. Again, Ben Godfrey can play fullback, but is he an out-and-out one, people? We'll have to see. I do think you'd probably see them revert, maybe go 3 at the back or go to a 4-4-2. If I was them, I'd go to a 4-4-2. I'd probably get Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin closer together through the middle, and play 2 wingers and get crosses in and try and double up with the fullbacks. Again, I don't know for injuries if they can play that, you know. Seamus Coleman's fit on the right-hand side. I'm not too sure what they're going to do on the left, you know. So we'll have to see. Everton are a good team. Like I said, the negatives, they do concede cheap goals. I do think they've made games harder than it needs to be. They do appear, for me, relying on a couple of individuals, and they are prone to senseless mistakes. That being said, you've seen them play 4-3-3, you've seen them play 4-4-2, you've also seen a 3-5-2, and you've seen different variations. So we all know Carlo Ancelotti is a great manager, you know, but there's fluid side and they're playing well. So we're going to have to earn the right to play. We're going to have to fight for every ball. So anyone that doesn't want to fight and isn't prepared for a long evening on Saturday, stay yourself in London, because it's going to be a tough game, people. It really is, you know. Again, team news, apparently there's no Alan. Seamus Coleman could be back. There's no James. Apparently there's no Delph. And any other news, you have to chat to an Everton fan for such, people. In terms of goals, as you lot can see, people, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, top goal scorer of the Prem. He's got 11 goals, you know. We didn't learn our lesson against Harry Kane, against Jamie Vardy, against Ollie Watkins, you know. Learn your lesson. Simply put, learn your lesson. You know what so all you footballers watch Match of the Day. You get analytical reports from Arsenal. You know what Dominic Calvert-Lewin's about. And apparently growing up, he was an Arsenal fan. So you would want to score, really. And he's in an important season. He's playing well. He's an important player. I'm sure he wants to go off to the Euros. And I'm sure he wants to get 20 league goals minimum. What an achievement that would be for him. So it's something to be wary of. As I said, Everton are 5th in the league, but they're actually 6th for goals. You know, let's not act like they haven't got goals dotted around. They are a free scoring side. I know their task isn't going to be made easier. And unfortunately for Arsenal, they're going to be missing certain individuals, allegedly, but they're a good team. We know they cross a lot of crosses. They're 8th in the league for crosses. You know, they're 9th for passes. Again, passes, you have to look into context. I'm not too sure how many of them are forward, but this tells me they're a possession-based side. They've got technical quality. They can score a lot of goals, predominantly from wide areas, and they've got players to that reflect that. So all of this, common sense would tell you, prepare for this. If you don't want to stand up to be counted, make sure you're there. As I said with my point earlier about Michael Keane, you can't read too much into this, but is there something with pressing him, with discouraging him from getting the ball? Because he's 8th for passes. He's made 857. Could we stop them advancing and building out from the back if we press him? Against Southampton, there wasn't really pressing. We elected to hold our shape, and I see the logic in it, but it can get long. Me personally, I would probably go with a 3-5-2, really and truly. And again, we lost. I just think we've changed at the wrong time, really, especially when you look at the Spurs games, the Wolves games, and the one before that. I would like to stay 4 at the back, but I'm quite scared of this opposition, really. So Leno picks himself. David Luiz comes in. We're missing Gabriel, and Gabriel for me would have been given a man marking job on Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but there's no Gabriel and there's no Partey. So I'll go with Leno, a back three of Rob Holding, David Luiz, and Kieran Tierney. Saka and Maitland-Niles would come in for me either side or fullback. Our midfield is atrocious. If there's no Partey, I don't really believe in a single midfielder at this club. Really and truly, the two midfielders I thought were decent on loan. You've got El Nene and Ceballos for me. Front three, I'd actually bring Lacazette in. I do think we need a bit of a hold-up man in there and someone that's going to get in the trenches. And I do think Lacazette gives us a bit defensively. I think we're going to need that. I don't think Eddie Nketiah might have got an assist, but I don't think, like I said, with Pepe and Maitland-Niles, that he seized his opportunity to say, yo, I deserve to be playing in this game. I'm sure he played against Everton last season at home, and he done quite well. I could be wrong. It was Everton and Newcastle. I could be wrong. But like I said, for me, and we are over-relying and overplaying Saka, but I have to start Saka. You know, we're in a tough spot as a team. He's one of the few players that stand up to be counted. Like, out of this team right now, only Tierney and Saka are the only ones I think are going to have a decent performance, really. Aubameyang's my guy, but based on this season, what's it been? So I'd go with Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Bukayo Saka. So that would probably mean Pepe's dropped out, and that's a direct consequence of Lacazette coming into the team. I wouldn't mind the back four people going 4-3-3 of such. You know, I'd go with Willian. Maitland-Niles would still retain his spot for me. I'd probably go with Rob Holding and David Luiz. And again, you could go with Pablo Mari in a back three. You know, you could go with Mari in a back three on the left-hand side and play Tierney at wing back. But I just think Tierney and Saka give us a lot going forward. Not that Everton don't know we're left-hand centric. Maitland-Niles gives us more than Bellerin going forward. But again, there would be no Pepe. But I'd think with the fellow Hale End graduate in Saka on that side, I think he would do quite well. But if it's a four, I'd go Maitland-Niles, Rob Holding, David Luiz, Tierney. You know, in the three, I'd go with El Nene. I'd go with Ceballos. In fact, if it's a back three, personally, I'd do this because no one's going to be a creator. I would like to see Smith Rowe on the bench, and especially now that we're allowed 9 subs now, I'd do this. Maitland-Niles will come into midfield. I'd probably go Cedric because I not that I rate Cedric, but Bellerin's not doing nothing. So I'd go with a dynamic midfield three, you know. Ceballos, if anything, can be the creative, but we've got no creative midfielder. The one that we do have cannot be registered. Let's just, you know, high energy, high intensity. Let's just have an engine in the middle. We all know it'd probably be Joe Willock to get this spot ahead of Maitland-Niles, but this is my team and what I would like to see. And then again, I can't lie to you people. I'm probably going to pick the same front three in this. You know, I'm probably going to go with the same front three. I'd probably do that. Again, if Oba misses out, then Saka's the one to come back in. But I do think you will see both Willian and Bellerin playing together, really and truly. And even this partnership, you saw how it kind of harmed us. I think they were poor for the goal as well as Gabriel. But they've only played a handful of times together, and you could see it. And this might be an area to exploit for Everton and an area of weakness of us. We all know that's not a top 4, that's not a top 10 quality pivot, let alone a top 4. So we have to see. Let's get into Arteta's thoughts, people. But before that, what are you guys saying, people? What are you guys saying? Big up yourself. Big up yourself for listening, people. I've got Saka twice. Right, where did I put Saka twice? And I must be relying on him so much. He's named twice. Let's go and see. Let me go and see. Let's go back. Where's my thing? Man said Saka twice. I don't blame you lot, man. I don't blame you lot. See, man said Saka twice. Sorry, apologies. Yeah. So it would be Pepe by that logic. Again, it'd be Pepe by that logic. I apologize, people. Saka's on my mind, man. You know, he's one of the only players that puts it in. And to be fair, if you could have 2 Sakas, 2 to 11 Sakas would be in a better spot. I apologize for that, people. But yeah, man, the one change would be Pepe to that then, innit? You know, completely forgot about that, people. Apologies. What's you lot's line up and that? Let me see what you lot are saying, people. Claudius has said, big up DG. I can't lie. I feel like this game, Arsenal pull out an unpredictable madness. It'd be so typical. Bro, let's hope so, innit? Them things there, I don't even think we've got that now. I've given up on that as well. So I hope to be right. I've kind of answered this. Do I feel Bellerin will be back into the team? Personally, I do, people. They do need to respect him. I respect him so much, I've named him twice. This is very true, DG. I was watching football for the first time. I would have thought Southampton was the home team. That's it. And if you can't play good in your backyard, then away from home, it's a myth, really and truly. Unless you're United, where they're actually good, better away from home this season. Sure, their fans don't even want to be at home. Um, exactly, we're going blind, and that's the one thing I don't think. One thing I'll give Arteta. One thing I'll give Arteta is I don't think he doesn't leave anything to chance. I think he does give these players the information. So it's a thing where, is he saying the information in the right way? I don't know. Is the communicational channels the right way? But that's where I get onto the players, because the way I've heard him speak about Southampton, about Leicester, about Spurs, he said what I'm saying and what you lot are saying in the comments, and the players have still gone into it with some naive mindset. I don't know what they're on. So there's that. Would you accept Mahrez in your club? Would Mahrez accept us? Of course, I'm having Mahrez personally. What have you said, my dude? Hey, DG, how do you feel about the hate on Eddie? I think he has a lot to give, and the hate is unnecessary. I do think he's a bit meaty. I do think it remains to be seen if he can be a long-term guy here. I think beyond the squad player, he's probably punching, but I do think people get him. I would like to see him given a new deal, purely because he's contracted until 2022. Giving him a new deal protects any sort of resale value. So if we send him out on loan and he has a standout season, we've got something there, sort of thing. He is someone, I'm not going to lie, if you give me 15, 20 million and a sell-on clause, I'm entertaining it. I would prefer Balogun to get chances, but again, you know, Balogun's inexperienced. And for Eddie in general, he's still young as a striker, but for Arsenal, I don't think we really have time, really and truly. So he's got to show a lot more. If we are going four at the back, I would prefer to put Maitland-Niles in midfield, my guy, and give Cedric a run out, see what he can do. That's it. They started well, 1-5, slowed down, and now they're back at it. One confidence, I think, did they draw against Burnley? They drew against Burnley, or they didn't have a good result against Burnley. I think Burnley showed Arsenal a sort of blueprint, man. Ancelotti does love a mind game. You're 100% right. Matilda said, what do you have to do for you in order to say someone took their chance? Well, if you're Maitland-Niles, provide, first and foremost, we need the modern fullback, and especially a team where Arteta is saying we need a lot of crosses. Look a problem in the final third, and I want your passing to be a bit crisp. I think he was good defensively. He mucked in, but it weren't there. Pepe didn't score, didn't assist, didn't make the difference. I want to see Pepe doing what Bukayo Saka did, and just dribbling past man and making something happen. Midfield, again, I don't need to, you're a smart guy, I don't need to spell it all out. Just whatever your position is, do what you need to do, people. El Nene has been very shaky, but then again, it's almost a must win. And again, tried and trusted things haven't worked for them. Hasn't worked for Arsenal, sorry. So it might be time to try anything. But do I see Arteta in? I say must win. He's not going to be sacked if we lose this, but must win. Is it time to try a new partnership? That's why I was saying a free, because he could then have the confidence in El Nene and Ceballos. Not that that's a seasoned partnership, and throw Maitland-Niles in. I think Arteta, for me personally, is very risk averse. I don't think he takes enough risks, and I feel that's one thing I'd like to see him do now, because you're almost damned if you do, damned if you don't. I understand why he's favouring more experienced players. I don't understand when they're making mistakes, but I understand the logic. Now is probably the time to try something new, because then at least fans could turn around and say, all right, cool, at least he's, a little Smith Rowe. He's gone with a little Maitland in midfield. Nelson, Balogun's got more minutes. You can see what he's coming with, sort of thing. And again, I know when you're a manager and you're pressed for results, you want to kind of have an instant impact. In theory, that leans towards more experienced players, but I feel they're letting him down in that regards. I do think players can be naive. Like even Smith Rowe, I remember this time a year ago, he had quite a poor game, a mixed game at Goodison Park. He was anonymous in that first half, and he had a more encouraging second. But yeah, man, El Nene has been a bit shaky. I don't think he would go and try that new partnership, because he does feel risk averse. But saying that, El Nene and Ceballos, my guy, have not played with each other too many times, really. So what does that make of it? And like I said, for me personally, it's when your back's against the wall, you need to try something. I don't think he wants to drop Willian, but his back's against the wall. I don't think logically he wanted to start Partey half fit, and that's come back to bite him, because now Partey's out for the foreseeable future, allegedly. But that screams desperation. So maybe try something different, really and truly. Please hit the like button if you haven't already, people. Thank you very much, Curlistic. Thank you very much. Love your content, GG, bull. Thank you very much. I try. A lot of people say, oh, you really live up to your name, Deluded. Or they say a comment like yours. Either way, I wish I had £1 for every one of them, man. And the thing is, with Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, we can't always talk about their goal scoring or necessarily heading in the box. They're gonna win fouls, you know. Gabriel's not there, but like you saw for the way he got sent off, that's what you. If I'm Carlo Ancelotti, I go 4-4-2, Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin, you know, knock the ball, let people push you in your back, win smart fouls that allows us to get higher up the field and allows us to actually get a lot of dead ball situations. That's actually another thing because they have got people who can deliver quality crosses. So let's try and limit the amount of free kicks we give away. Let's not try and play reactive. A big bit of confidence for me is the fact that thingy brother's not there, man. Dejane, I can never say his name, but anyway, he's good, man. Good to see you on Rabona TV's channel. Big up my guy Rabona, man. He has a lot of time for me, and I've got a lot of time for him. Would I start Saliba? You know, back free. Well, this is what I mean. It's a time for risks. It's a time to try something. It's a time for people to have allegiances to you. You know, I saw Arteta do not necessarily brave things, but at the time when he brought through Mustafi, and not that Mustafi's been amazing because he's shown his level, but when he played Mustafi last year, we were side-eyeing it, but he played him and he got a reaction. You know, he brought back Eddie in. There was somewhat of a reaction. And there's been many different cases. This year, I don't think he's favouring that. And I hear what he's saying, especially a game like this where set pieces, marking is important. You've got a young, largely inexperienced centre-half in Saliba. I get why he wouldn't play. But this is why, I mean, the way we're playing, I think age isn't a thing anymore because these experienced players, like I said, there's logic to it, but they're not doing anything for you. At least Saliba might go out there and give an encouraging performance because he wants to play. He doesn't want to be playing 23s. He didn't sign for Arsenal for this. Or I'm sure he would have waited and stayed in St. Etienne and waited for a next move. You know, and I've listed the many other young players as well. So make of that what you will, man. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I'm sure Son as well. They've all got the same amount of goals as us, man. Listening while I'm at work. Big up yourself once again. See, he might play Bernard, is what it is. He has played Saka on the right. In fact, he's actually played Saka at right back, but I agree he's going to play him on the left. Saliba can play in the league. He just can't play in the Europa League. I'll probably try that next time. In fact, let me screenshot that for you so I don't forget that. We'll try that again, man. Bro, I love to hope so, or we're not getting Champions League, innit? Like, you know, forget about it. Forget about it. Happy to see you like this thing, man. Happy to see you like this thing. And again, apologies for putting Saka twice, people, but can you blame me? I wish we had 11 Bukayo Sakas, people, man. I don't rate him. I don't rate Mustafi. I don't know where that one's coming with, but I'm just saying the same logic I saw in him. He was making brave decisions, which if it's not him, I'm looking at it in a questionable sense. I'm not looking at it now because if you play Saliba and he gets destroyed, of course, you know, people are going to say, why did you do that? But at least he'll learn something. At least Saliba might have some allegiances to you. I'd rather give these young players chances because we keep hearing rumors of people are turning and things like that. Who are you more likely to craft into a squad of you and have a siege mentality? Yeah. These young G's, obviously you want a balance in an ideal world, but these young G's who you got a Balogun begging to play, Saliba not playing, you know, Maitland, Nelson, Joe, all of these names, yeah, or William, who's been there, done that, wore the t-shirt. He's saying, I'm not being funny, I've been managed by Jose Mourinho, I'm here on the joke thing. Shut your mouth, Arteta. Xhaka, who's always having problems with managers. You know, Bellerin been here for time. Is football his main priority? I don't know. I'm not saying he's not dedicated to his craft, but I don't get the fact that he really wants to make something of him. And when I look at someone like Bellerin, yeah, you're not exactly North London, born here, came up from Haylen, but you're as close to homegrown as they get. And I don't get the sense of urgency that I get from Saka. Saka genuinely looks like he feels it as a fan and tries to take the game to the opposition. So it's a bit long, really and truly, man. It's crazy. And that's the thing, you know. But again, you need Saliba to learn these harsh lessons, my guy. You need him to play against a Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And if he plays well, great. He'll learn a lot, but get bullied. Because what is Dominic Calvert-Lewin? A powerhouse. He's got technical qualities, but he'll back into you. He'll mash you up in the air and things. You've got to obviously, these are the lessons he's got to learn. And this is why, you know, players are only going to get good when they're out of their depth. You know, we don't need, I want Saliba to have a great game every game for the rest of his career. But and I'm not saying I want him to play bad, but is he going to learn anything? Is he going to learn anything? Even in these Europa League minutes we're begging, is he going to learn anything? Or is it good to play against the likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin and top strikers in other leagues and learn something? So we'll have to see, man. Is what it is, man. Man said Young Buck with the match with the match preview. And we all know he's not playing Saliba. We all know he's not playing Saliba, man. Saliba's not going. So it is what it is in that regards. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. It does not cost a thing. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. There's 130 likes. I appreciate all of you guys. Moving away from that, let's go back to obviously this. Now, we've obviously put Pepe in a 3-5-2 if Saka is to play as a wing back. Obviously, I did not make the same mistake there. I think, yeah, Cedric went into midfield T and he went wing back. Arteta himself, let's get into what Arteta has said. And let me scroll down to see how much of Arteta's stuff I copied and pasted. So we're here for a long run, people. But moving on, you know, final bit of chunk. Let's make some spaces. It doesn't look pretty, does it? I don't really like the look of this. It don't look pretty. But yeah. When asked, obviously, on the mood in the squad, he said we've had a disappointing of not winning the game. But at the same time, I think the players realized that with the difficulty of playing 35 minutes with 10 men, a draw is probably a result we had to take, and they could see some positives as well in the resilience and the attitude they showed to hang on for that result. Yeah, but I think even without the red card, there was a lot we could talk on, similar to the Everton Leeds game. Apologies. On facing an informed Everton, he said, it's always really tough to go to Goodison Park. I played there and know them really well. They are teams in two different moments, but we are preparing the game to go there and beat them because we need that result. And I want to, when I hear that, I want to see us being proactive, not reactive. Proactive, try and be on the front foot, try and cut them open, try and be switched on defensively, try and, you know, not let down your man, because what I saw against Southampton, players were just happy to do the bare minimum. You know, when I looked at Southampton, I'm seeing Danny Ings tracking our strikers, same way I saw Harry Kane doing that against us. You know, I don't see that same intent and hunger and selflessness and doing more than just the minimum respected to you. It seems like at this club, players are happy to pass it to the next man. Nobody wants to be a protagonist of, forget the club, forget our season, but no one wants to be a protagonist of their own fate, of their own destiny. No one wants to seize the future. They're just accepting it for what it is. There's a lot of football to be played. There's a lot of points, you know. Again, I don't think Arsenal are going to do top four, but I'm a big fan of saving face. I'm a big fan of not going out there to just get smacked up. There's 20-odd games to play. Fix up and try and win some of them, you know. It is what it is. He went on to say, you know, when asked on his memories at Everton, he said, magnificent. I had 7 incredible years there. They treated me really well. We were very successful for the team and the results that we had in that moment. I still have a lot of love, admiration, and friends over there because I am grateful they treated me really well and I enjoyed being part of their family. And maybe if things were different, maybe you could have been a coach there, not at Arsenal City. On his first year in charge, he said, I think it has been one of the most challenging years in the club's history for many, many different reasons. I think we have made a lot of progress and implanted a lot of positive things that have worked really well. We have gone through structural changes right across the club, and that has obviously shaken the club big time. I would say the highlights of the year is the 2 trophies that we won together, and the most disappointing thing is that we haven't had our fans with us to take us through the difficult moment. Oh yeah, you have. I've been here live streaming, and I'm sure everyone else has. Don't get that one mixed up, Arteta. We have been here going through this difficult moment. It could have got long. You saw your little boos that you got. Who was it? Who they get booed against? Burnley, and Tierney said 2, right? It could have been long. You know, you think that them boos were cool. Imagine the boos when you lost to Aston Villa, or they mopped the floor with you against Wolves. You never in it, getting smoked. It could have got long. And he said, I think it could have been a really, really positive year, but the recent form in the Premier League is taking a gloss off that, of what we have done in the calendar year. But we have to accept that our Premier League form in recent weeks is not good enough for this football club. And I mean, there's no accepting it. It isn't. It isn't. When asked on whether he thought the job was harder than he thought, he said, I know and I realize how difficult the job is in normal conditions when you get to the club that goes through what we have had to go through in a year. And on top of that, we have had a pandemic that is affecting the whole industry. The way that you can even live your profession and then do what you want to do normally is even more challenging. But this is what we have. At the same time, I'm telling you what I do. I feel so lucky and privileged to represent this football club and the circumstances and context that in this moment are where they are, and we have to face them because there is no other choice, and that's it. We've got to stand 10 toes down. Like he said in his last thing, we've got to take the hits to the chest. And the thing is, I keep seeing only 3 men on this sort of thing, Arteta. When asked on the red card, he said, I said the other day, I think we have had 7 red cards since I joined, and 2 are disciplinary, and the rest have been for different actions, as I said in my last video. The last one with Gabriel, he is 22 and he is settling into the Premier League. Don't forget that. And they were 2 very different actions. But in this moment, we cannot afford it because the Premier League is too high and the margins for us at the moment are too small to win or lose football matches. And that's facts. We're without our best defender aerially for a game where, we're against a team that scores quite high across other teams in the league for crosses. So it was crazy. And for Gabriel, it's a lesson learned because that was his first real terrible game, really, for me. He was still decent, but I think for the goal, he was rushed out. 2 stupid red cards, 2 stupid yellows resulting in a red. Then I like that he's aggressive, but again, he's got to look to tame it because he's been getting away with that for a lot of weeks now, and he's been getting away with that under hit, sometimes not concentrating on that back pass. That's going to result in a goal. He's 22. He's a rough diamond. He's rough around edges. He's had a good start to the year. Like I said, it's been a couple of months, reflected in winning player of the months. Let's hope he continues because he signed a 5-year deal. I really believe in that lad, and I think he's going to be a good defender. He already is. He's going to be a monster. When asked on a turning point, he said, it's better. We could have won at the end when Rob hit the post in the last minute. We are lacking that luck. You make your own luck, Arteta. I'm sorry, but you make your own luck. Luck happens when you're, you look at Liverpool. I'm not putting that comeback down to luck, but magical things happen when you work hard, when you fight for a squad. The comeback against Barcelona, I'm referring to. You make your own luck. You made your own luck when you did an underdog thing, beating Liverpool, beating City, beating Chelsea, because you did your homework, you did the hard graft, and then because you're all working hard, that extra 10% collectively came together. You're not doing that now. That luck ain't going to happen. And if we're real, yeah, we hit the post, but it was hardly a convincing effort. Rob Holding just got something on it. If we're going to sit here and harp on about that chance when we've got 72 million Pepe playing, we've got young Eddie Nketiah starting, we've got Aubameyang, we've got Ceballos behind him, we've got decent fullbacks as well as Saka floating about. Come on now, mate. I'm not saying he did, but come on, forget the luck thing. We make your own luck, make your own luck. But I really liked because when the team is in this moment, you can completely drop and give up. But the team never did that. Some individuals, in my opinion, are Arteta, some aren't. I really think it was completely the opposite. And I'm really proud to see that reaction from the team. Right now, what we need to do is win football matches as well. That's our reality, and talking isn't going to win you lot games. As you lot know, we're playing on the quarterfinal on Tuesday. I'm not going to read that out, but he didn't give much away in relation to if he'd rest players for them, if there'd be rotation and things like that. And then he spoke when pressed further. He said, at the moment, we have to look at the next game. There are players that are ended up the last phase of their rehab, like Callum Chambers, Paulo Marie, who has already played some minutes in the Europa League, Mustafi as well. Gabriel Martinelli is very close to being available and fit to be part of us as well, which is great news. We'll see what happens. And Arteta, you weren't really using Martinelli too tough when he was fit. I hope you are now because he's someone our fans want to see. He's on the Saka thing. He'll want to make the difference. On what it's like to manage against Everton, he said, it's going to feel strange. It was my first experience in the Premier League as a player. A lot has happened since then. And as I said before, I am so grateful for the years that I had over there. Now I'm privileged to be going back to Goodison, representing Arsenal and being the manager. When asked on, how important Everton was for his development as a future coach, he said, there was a lot of things that I took on board. Bearing in mind, you got offered a position by Arsene Wenger. It was David Moyes for the whole period and all the coaching staff who were there. Implemented a way of playing that was new to me because I was coming from a different education, obviously Sociedad, Barcelona, and a time at PSG. I had to adapt. I learned things. It was a challenge. I had to embrace and adapt to it, and I really enjoyed it with everyone at the club because I built really strong relationships with them and, of course, the fans. When asked on who is going to replace Gabriel, again, he's going to play mind games. He said, let's see who we have available tomorrow. Obviously, we've lost Gab with a red card. We'll assess them today and decide who is best to go and beat Everton. So again, that throws the gauntlet. Again, there's Marie, there's Chambers. He could bring in Mustafi. There's Holding. There's David Luiz, who's been in the headlines for the wrong reasons, allegedly. So we'll have to see. What one's this now? He said on whether he'd get more, when asked on whether he'd be given times to get things right. He said, "I said it from the start that I really feel supported by the owners." It's hardly going to say much different. You feel supported. Where is the hour? Where's the hour? Where's the hour? Forget the hour. Where is the plan B target? You don't. I get it. Arteta is under duress. He doesn't want to say this, people. Arteta does not want to say this. I feel sorry for Arteta, but you're capping. You know, you're letting them make you take, like you said, get hit in the chest and take the bullets. You're letting them hit. You're going to be the fool guy for what's happening on the field because of what we've not. And you have your own question marks, Arteta. But it's what's been happening off the field that's contributed to this. We're gassed about signing Partey, but any other club does not. You know, that position ain't been replaced since Patrick Vieira. If this owner bought this club or became sole owner in 2018 or something like that, and initially in 07, that would have been the first thing on his mind. There's no creative mid. Like I said, the lack of no DNA, this poor form is completely on you, but you haven't been supported. You haven't, because they would make sure there's no noise about this Ozil thing. They would have made sure Saliba had a home. They would have brought you proper players, you know, really and truly. We wouldn't be in this mess. Some of it is of your own doing, but come on now. I get it's a mouthpiece, but and you can't say any different. But like he said, man, he feels supported by the owners, by the board, and by the technical director, and then by everyone at this club. He said, at the end of the day, it's the feeling that I have with the staff, with the coaching, with the players, that is the most important one. It's about the chemistry, apologies, you have with them. What understanding they have. Do they follow you? Do they believe in what you're trying to do? I've always have to say thank you, because I haven't seen anything that goes against what we're trying to do. And again, you don't have eyes in the back of your head. This is where you need your coaching staff to help you. Because again, I don't like these rumors, and I feel the rumors coming out about discontent, the many different sort of bust ups and things. I do think it's the media, but there could be no smoke without fire. And you've got a mole in this squad, and you've promised to kill them and get rid of them, but it ain't happened. So yeah, he feels supported by everyone. Fair enough. If that's what you do feel, if you feel supported, okay, cool. You can't really complain. Then we can't. As much as I feel Kroenke and these players, people need to do more and things. Based on what you're saying at face value, you know, every problem is with you. And like you said, you're taking the bullets. And like he said as well, this industry needs results. After a big shape up, we need to find the stability. You need to find stability on the football field. You keep chopping and changing your lineup. In order to do that, we need time. But we need to know what we need time for. What are we building into? What are we moving into? If I get on a bus, I'm not on the bus for no reason, am I, people? Am I on the bus for no reason, people? Or if I'm getting on the bus, I must know, cool, this bus is taking me to Tottenham High Road. This bus is taking me to Shoreditch. I'm not just on the bus for no reason. And that's why that's my problem when people keep saying this, you need time and trust the process, trust this and that. I get it. I will trust the process. I trust the process, but man, I need to know what I'm trusting. I can't just be saying it. Like I said, you don't just get on a bus and say, oh, you know, if I'm trying to go Tottenham High Road, you know, I get on a 149 or something. I don't get on a 1-2. I don't get on a 1-2-3 and then end up in Walthamstow and say, yo, I trust the process. You don't just jump on a bus aimlessly, people, do you? It's crazy. It's not making sense. Like I said, I like Arteta. You know, I'd rather get rid of some players and the owner than Arteta. But come on now. Again, we need to see the progress. And I agree with Arteta. I think Arteta is being blamed for a lot of things sometimes that has nothing to do with him, really and truly. Like the mess off the field, the numerous contract business, you know, there are many things he's had to come in and things. I think he's been done dirty. I don't think he's had a decent window, especially considering he's a novice manager and he's one of the first to you know, you've brought in a manager you said you want to invest in and it's long term. You ain't really helped him out on and off the field. You ain't surrounded him with real quality. You know, as much as I get Edu and Vinay, they're novices. Have they been surrounded by the most quality? Because as a fan, I look at it, you know, I'm seeing a lot of, and again, a lot of it is streamlining, but I'm seeing a lot of executives and whatnot being cut from Arsenal. But I'm not seeing who's coming in, and I see someone like Edu being inexperienced and taking more responsibility on, which is a good thing. If you come into a company, you like someone that wants more responsibility. But how good can he do these roles? We've heard that, you know, Raul Sanye's duties were split between Vinay and Edu. You know, with all due respect to Raul, whether you rate him or not, he's been in the business for time. Vinay is a numbers man. How much does he know about this football thing? Edu, you've had a role before, but how many you get it, people? It's not gonna help. And for me, we've had a lot of changes at many different levels. But when you look at it now, we've got 3 young men really in Vinay, Edu, and Arteta respectively in their positions. It's crazy, man. It is crazy, man. You know, a lot of phrases, man. Trust the process for what, man? I am. I wasn't even trying, man. But that's the best way. I look at this process thing like a bus. Like, you don't just jump on a bus for no reason. You need to know the destination. They can tell us they want to go back to Champions League and things like that, but I don't see the building blocks. So as much as I'm not going to sit here and cry and whatnot, it's crazy, man. You know, it really is. It really is. Nah, man, Maguire's a better centre half than Maguire. Moderators, please pattern up the trolls, man. We've got a decent little thing going, and trolls are gonna be ruining it up, man. Edu's not the one to give responsibility to. He wants the power for the wrong reasons. I don't know that. I don't know what Edu's on, really and truly, really. I see some concerning things, and I just see too much talking. With Edu and Vinay in particular, there's too much talking, too much bullish chat, and I ain't seen things affect it. And that's where we maybe could we have got a more experienced man? You know, if we ain't got money and we need to watch our pennies a bit more, could we got someone a bit more experienced that could say, cool, we've got £10 here. You know, let's not try and go Selfridges. Let's try and go to the market where we might get more for our buck. I don't think within the context I don't think we our scouting. I guess I'm saying our scouting isn't good enough. Our foresight isn't good enough. We're not learning from hindsight. And also, obviously, we are mismanaged, because at the end of the day, as much as I want Kroenke gone and things like that, you know, many people would look at me, or many fans of other clubs, and say, how can you say your manager? How can you say that your manager, your owner doesn't care, but you spent 72 million? We know it's not all up front, but that's where I'm saying the people above them, you know, below them, it's mismanagement. Because I'm not saying signing Pepe was a right or wrong thing, but we ain't got no bang for our buck. Lacazette, no bang for our buck. We've made 3 transfers in Mkhitaryan, Kolasinac, and Willian, and they've all proved very costly and expensive, you know, and there's many different things, the Xhakas, the Mustafis, you know. Marian and Cedric, it's a bit different because they haven't really had a chance. But, you know, what was the basis of making them permanent signings? Do you get it? It's crazy, man. Big up all the members. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Big up Derek. He's loving the bus analogy. Hopefully, I've given you lots of quality in that regards, people. Just making a note so I know where to cut this when I do my own thing. Like he said, man, mismanaged. And that's why, for me, you can't just blame one person. You can't just blame one person. Like, let's take the midfield thing right now. Midfield's been a problem for time. I think it stands with the Kroenkes because, like I said, yeah, if I'm buying a club and I really do care about a club and all of this stuff that they said, yeah, you're looking at Arsenal's midfield. It's not reflected the Invincibles or been anything good for time. Fair enough. Under Wenger, we had some good technical ballers. Let's say in the last 3-4 years in particular, including this year, the 4th, when you've really seen poor individuals, you would have acted, you know, you would have injected money. You might have, even as the owner, like you see apparently with Abramovich, how that's a club signing. He wants Havertz. He wanted Shevchenko. Obviously, Shevchenko didn't work. Obviously, it can be quite interfering when a man does things like this. But you get it. He could have said, let's get a midfielder. Then you look below it, scouting's been a problem because, with all due respect, you've seen Kante and these sort of midfielders gone. Somebody says Xhaka is the thing. So someone's got to answer for that. You know, that's where I get at people who, yes, Kroenke needs to go and he's mismanaged and whatnot. But now we look below the thing. The people that have been in charge of the P's, what are you doing with the P's? And then, you know, there's a trickle-on effect. So you ain't trying to really pattern up the team and have a DNA. We're not being brought in good players, regardless of the level of the players. And in fact, this is a bit of Arteta as a manager. I'm not seeing a DNA. I'm not really seeing much. You can see how there's a trickle-on effect. And that's where I look at Arteta now and I say, boy, for when it's all said and done, you as a midfielder, my bro, and that's where we look the most concerning. We don't look stable in midfield. You know, we don't look stable in midfield. We don't look good at all. So, you know, midfield is the crucial area. And for me, even with midfield, it's a techie one. Because like I said yesterday, when you look at it, you know, apart from Thomas Partey, all these other midfielders might not be here next season. Now, I don't think we're going to sell them all. You know, El Nene is here by accident. Big up yourself for the super chat, my guy. I really appreciate that pound. I'm going to buy myself some Smarties. Like I was saying, yeah, when you look at Partey, he's the only one that screams long-term. So Bios is here on loan and, you know, Arsenal tried to make him permanent last year. Would you make him permanent based on the form he's been displaying? No. You know, El Nene's here by accident. Let's keep it true. We tried to move him to Turkey. If an offer came in, we would have probably tried to move him on prior as well. But he's here. He's doing his thing. He's contracted until 2022. Arteta, there was a lot of talk early on about El Nene new deal. Arteta's the one who said, calm it down. So is he a stopgap? You know, El Nene might be someone who's allowed to be a little squad player, run down your little deal and things like that. And things like that. We'll have to see. I don't know. But you'd have El Nene gone. Like I said, Ceballos is gone. You know, I don't know what's going to happen with Torreira. I don't know if Atletico are going to make him permanent, but you'd imagine he'd be gone. You know, Guendouzi would have a year left. Hopefully, we give him a new deal and he can have a future here, or we can protect his resale value. But realistically, Guendouzi's gone. You know, Xhaka's being linked with moves away. So Xhaka should, you know, but in theory should be gone. But we all know with Xhaka, this sort of thing happens all the time. He's always linked with a move away and he stays. So we're touching about 5 midfielders, I've said, that might not be here. So again, this tells you that the ownership, they haven't been forward thinking. The people below them haven't worked. Not only have they been crippled by Kroenke not giving them money, but within the context, they've not done what they've needed to do. Because again, playing devil's advocate, yeah, I want to see Aura come in, but you should have other targets. Why didn't you get Szoboszlai in the summer? You know, why didn't you have someone of the same skill set that can do what we need in midfield? Because, you know, a serious team doesn't praise bringing in Partey and Aura. That's the bare minimum, you know. So they didn't have plan B targets and work within the context. And Arteta isn't showing me anything. Again, you can say, well, he doesn't have the players, but I can turn around and say, cool, I'm not seeing any sort of DNA or blueprint to say when you get better players, I'm going to see some wavy stuff. Because what I think we're going to see based on what I'm seeing right now is we're going to sign this creative man. Yeah, he might create some stuff, but we're going to sit here and say there's no movement. You know, he can't do it his own, and all the things we used to say about Ozil. I'm not seeing enough to suggest it's as basic as bringing in a midfielder, people. So we'll have to see what happens in that regards. I'm making a new note of this now. We went from 50 minutes to a 105. It's going good, Rooster, man. Big up all the members. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. We've got 350 people here. Eating chalk is Smarties chalk. I don't want to eat no chalk, bro. Box to box midfielder. The man are saying he's deep lying. The man are playing left back and centre back. He's just a poor footballer. He's not a thing for us. So, big up yourself, Frankie. Get free Smarties. Now, my guy, I might get some Skittles now. I might get some Skittles or I might get a bit of Fanta. Who knows? I'm feeling saucy. Claudius seems like he's local. I don't live in London anymore, but pick up the 144 to Everton, boy. You know, that journey, depending on what time you get on it, it can be a bit political. It can be a bit crazy. Frankie's also said, what do you think about the rumor that Arteta did not want to sign Willian or Luiz? Can someone point me to a link if there is a link? But if he didn't, then why are you allowing yourself to be the fool guy then? Because Edu is out here saying, don't get at me. But what did he say? He said Arteta is the one that wanted him. You know, the agent of Willian said the same. You know, for David Luiz, again, I'd rather play Saliba. I'd say let's get another target. But I think the Luiz one is this or nothing. The William one, again, why are you playing him then? Like, why are you playing him consistently to this level then, really? So I'm not too sure he didn't want that. I think he sanctioned that still, really. And he did shoot himself in the foot. You know, at least Emre didn't rate him, but Emre gave himself the luxury. But again, we don't really know. Maybe they've said, you know what, you're not even going to do the Emre thing. You're not allowed to use him full stop. Or maybe they tried to say, don't register Ozil at all. But Emre said, boom, nope, you're not going to bring me in, man. Man, I have to do this thing. I don't know. The time difference was a bit different, man. Should not have been given that. Should not have been given that. Pick up yourself. I'm a printer in N9 and could help do merch. We can talk, my guy. We can talk, but I can't lie. I've got someone on the case right now, my guy. Big up yourself for the £2. I am spoiling myself, man. So I can get Smarties now. I can get some Skittles, some Fanta. I might get some candy floss. You lot, I love for the super chats. Love for you lot just being here, but also love for the super chats. Make sure you hit the like button and the rest of it, people. Please. And you're right, man. He should not have been given that, you know. Bell said, hey, you must be from ends. Xhaka couldn't even hack cutting down 4th Street for a 279, let alone doing a box-to-box roll. To be fair, that run is not for the faint-hearted. Get a meal deal. I've already had one today still. Big up the smoothies and that. I only get this one a special offer. We ain't got money for them thing there, but it is what it is. I don't think David Luiz has been as bad as I thought he was going to be. I don't think David Luiz is as bad as I thought he was going to be. I don't think David Luiz is as bad as people make out. But ultimately, you get what you pay for. You know, he's had some good moments. He's made some costly errors. And I think the red cards and the defensive errors, it is what it is. You take shortcuts, it gets poor. I don't think so. Because if he wanted to go there, would have went there. You know, maybe the attraction of London, maybe Arteta made him buy into something. I don't know. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. Don't know. He'd have to talk to Osimhen, the striker who went there. Hey, man, I don't know what that is, but if you finna post that to London, I'd love to see what go on. I'd love to see what go on. Deluded, watch us agree personal terms with a midfielder only, not to sign them. That would be very much Arsenal. I big up everybody. I'm going to get back in the comments in a sec. In fact, I would rather gamble on Saliba. Trust me, my guy. Trust me. Big up AM. Ain't seen you active. I was scared. I was thinking, where are you, my guy? But big up yourself. Let's finish off Arteta's things, people. I'm going to get back to you lot in a sec. But like he said, man, he spoke about the need for change at the club and the rest of it and all those things. On fitness issues, on other fitness issues, he said, we have a few doubts. Obviously, we cannot tell you who, but we have some doubts for tomorrow. Yes. So again, there might be some shockers, and maybe because something's just, I ain't got no information, but something's just telling me Saka. And he said, we cannot tell you who, but we have some doubts for tomorrow. Yes. I'm not going to go over that, people, because I don't agree with 5 subs, people voting against 5 subs. And I think Klopp was quite right in sticking it on Chris Wilder about that. He spoke on 2 extra players on the bench, and that would be nice because I would love to see, you know, the Smith Rowes, the Nelsons, the Ballagans, people who are typically missing out and at best named as the 19th man getting looks in. This was the interesting part of his press for me on whether coaching at Everton before he went to Man City. He said it was part of some conversations, but he took my route. Maybe that was down to, or better yet, clearly down to Pep. Obviously, more generic talk about, you lot can read that yourselves, about taking bits from coaches. A lot of us say this, people. We look better with Maitland-Niles and Nelson on the right-hand side. They've got a better understanding than Willian and Bellerin. So this is where it gets a bit interesting towards the end of this, people. He said, well, there's a lot of things to discuss when you go through the defensive phase and the way and the areas that we have conceded the goals and how we can concede them. So it's just, so to just say we are weak on one side than the other, I don't think is fair. Nah, we are, bro. We're significantly weaker when they're attacking down Bellerin's. We're significantly weaker when we're attacking with Willian and Bellerin. I get that you're saving the players, that, you know, you can't just dig out players, but let's be serious. He said, attacking wise, for some connections and some relationships we have on the pitch, we tend to be a little more efficient in some areas. And that's why I don't understand them. Why don't you play? If you don't believe in, listen, Pepe ain't covered himself in glory. I'm not going to go over it all. But if you don't rate Pepe, well, how do I make this make sense? If you rate Pepe, why not playing with Maitland-Niles where the relationship's better? Because you've said yourself, he's come out and said himself, Bellerin struggles going forward, in want of other words. And I've said that. I said we can talk about signings until we're blue in the face. One underrated thing is consistency, playing players, improving players, and building up relations. Look at the relations we see down the left-hand side. Did Saka and Tierney get that overnight? Where were they 2 years ago? And many different other examples, even Lacazette and Aubameyang once upon a time. It's been a long time since we've seen them funky hand signs and whatnot. You know, there's many things, and I want to see that happen at centre-half with Gabriel and someone. Right now, Gabriel and Holding are probably the 2 strongest partners together. Eventually, you want to see that change in a Saliba or a next Donny. But he's true. And he said, but the reality is that we have to change personnel for a lot of different reasons, suspensions, injuries, and suspensions and injuries. I'm not too sure that's been why Willian, Xhaka and Bellerin were playing until the mad thing. He said we have to find that cohesion and balance with the 2 sides, and it's very difficult. And to be fair, Pepe is a bit shaky defensively. I do think Willian's defensive contribution is overrated, but he is better in that regards. And as poor as I think Bellerin is against Leeds, Pepe was not helping him. If you compare to any team in the Premier League, you will find some imbalance in areas where they are more dangerous, or runs in behind that they put here, or balls that come from one side or the other. It's something common. That's very common. Clearly, if you have, you know, better players, there's going to be something, you know. Again, it's the Liverpool's a difficult one, but because they've got quality on both sides. But you're naturally going to see that makes fully sense. You know, again, United with Tellers and Luke Shaw, they're better going forward than obviously my man in Thingy, in Wan-Bissaka. And obviously they've 9 times out of 10 you've got Rashford on that side, and Pogba's best position probably is on the left-hand side of a 3-man midfield. Again, I'm not watching United all the time, but you can see why there might be it, but it's not as glaringly obvious. Every team probably has that, but it's glaringly obvious at this club, to the point where I genuinely believe on a whiteboard, when whatever team is playing us, people, they literally sat there and they've gone left-hand side, lock it down. Look at Spurs. Look at the Spurs game. They didn't try and get down Tierney's side. They knew it was all coming down Bellerin's. You know, the only type team I've seen that have tried to really attack both sides, for me personally, Southampton to a degree, I think they targeted our left-hand side more than I thought and tried to do something a bit different. But I'd say Wolves, they're the only team that said, you know, Adama, Pedro Neto, get at them. You know, they're the only ones that was on a savage thing. So I think that's a bit vague and whatnot, but it is of meaning to me. When asked on whether Maitland-Niles did enough to keep his place on in the team, or if Hector Bellerin returns immediately, I personally think he will revert to new, and we will see Bellerin, when allowed, and obviously Willian back into the team. He said, I think Ainsley had a good game, and I think he's evolving really, really good. I think he's made in this year big progress, and he's in a much better place than what he was a year ago, and he needs to keep improving. Well, he needs to keep doing what he's doing. Okay, that didn't answer the question, but I think that tells you everything. And again, you have to be a bit smart. You can't really necessarily breed complacency. Tell a man he's going to start, and tell a man in Bellerin, no matter how poor he is, that he's going to be out of the team. When it comes to Martinelli, which we all want to see, people, and let's take our time. I want him to be back fit and healthy. I don't want no relapses like you saw with Partey. He said, Gabby is pure enthusiasm, energy, belief, charisma, and goals. Fact. And this is him. He's around the training ground, and he's around our training sessions, and the energy is different because he goes 100 miles per hour. He's got this passion and his way of playing, and he's a threat. He's a player that we've been missing because he brings something special to the team. He's contagious with his attitude, and I think he's going to be a big boost when we have him. Fact, as you saw against Manchester City, Chelsea at the Bridge last year in our 2-2 victory over them. A man said, do I rap? I do, man. I do. What are you lot saying? Make sure you're hitting the comment section, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. I'll actually be live again at, I believe, 6. I actually haven't done the StreamYard link, so it's not all there things, but we'll have to see what happens in that regards, people. We've got 4K views, I think. We're doing quite good, We've got 201 likes. Come on, people. Hit the like button. Stop being so stingy. What's wrong with you lot? Hit the like button. Comes like you lot don't want me to be in people's recommended. What are you lot saying in the comments, man? Let me take a couple comments and see what you guys are on. At least we're going to get top 15. Boy, let's hope so, my guy. Let's hope so. 360 people here. Big up everybody, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. What's going on, man? What is going on? Interesting how younger players are calling out the seniors because they don't respect the seniors in a healthy way. How can you respect people that don't respect themselves? It's crazy. But you're right, man. Big up Nobby, because you're always locked in, man. You're always locked in. Let me type in William, because a lot of you are saying this William business. You know what? We're gonna talk about how long we here. I'll make it quick about William, man. In fact, you know what? We're gonna get William in the next live stream, man. I'm gonna dedicate one to him and other things, and probably talk about some transfer news and the rest of it, people. Big up yourself for the super chat, Devil's Delight. Almost didn't catch that. What have you said? Apologies. Let me just say what. So let's see. 1 hour to 1:16. Arteta mid. Apologies, just a bit of notes. Apologies. Big up yourself, Devil's Delight. And you lot are spoiling me, man. I'm buying hella sweets. I'm still gonna buy more sweets, man. We might buy some Ferrero Rochers today, people. What's a perfect transfer window for you, DG? Well, it would be to bring in a creative midfielder minimum. I think we need 2 midfielders because I don't rate none of our midfielders. I don't. I don't. If it was up to me, and excluding all the stuff that's happened with, the political stuff around allegedly Torreira not settling, and obviously who's my other guy, Guendouzi. Personally, for me, it's a thing where I'm looking at it as, okay, cool. I would like to, it would be Torreira, Guendouzi, Partey, a creative man, and a next creative man. I think we need 5 midfielders, ideally 4. So it would probably mean game time for the young players wouldn't quite be there. I think we need a box-to-box midfielder, a creative number 8, 2 8.5s. If we can't get 2 of those, I would like to, and Torreira leaves, I would like to see someone with Thomas Partey's skill set, in that I know Thomas Partey's got a lot more than just putting a foot in, but primarily he's in this Arsenal team to put a foot in, win the ball back, and be box to box. When Partey is injured, as you're seeing, it's irrelevant what Partey can do because he's not available. We need a squad. It's a squad game. So, pardon me, it'll be 2 midfielders. I would like a right back. I would like Maitland-Niles to be it and whatnot, but I don't want to keep being here year in, year out saying Maitland, Cedric, Bellerin. Can we get a right back in? For me, it'd probably be Maitland-Niles and this new right back fighting. So can we get a right back? Can we get a couple midfielders in? I would actually say a striker personally, either a very good winger that can score goals or a striker. I know I would like to see that, or a good plan B striker. I think left back could be an area to monitor as well. Saka can do it, and we have got Tierney, but I don't believe in Kolasinac. And if Tierney gets injured, we're relying on Saka. And let's just say, for God forgive me for saying this, and touch wood, somebody just said Saka is potentially tired and things like that. But okay, so let's just say it happened tomorrow. We're without Tierney. Kolasinac is from the wild, and we don't really rate him and believe in his thing. So you'd have him, or you're looking at Saka, who you're running the risk of fatiguing and stuff. So it is what it is, man. Love for that super chat, my guy. It means a lot, man. Come on, man. Smash the like button. Smash the like button. It doesn't cost a thing, man. Just saw the video about Rabona TV about Arsenal. You know what you're talking about. Very good points. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. Big up yourself, Alex. It means the world. Tomorrow, I think we're kicking off at 5:30, as it said here. I'll personally be back at 6 p.m. I'm going to get an Everton fan here. We'll be previewing the game. Between today and tomorrow, you will get your content about Arsenal's under 18s, Arsenal's under 23s. I have not forgot about the loan report, people. I'll probably do it in my live stream tomorrow. I'm not going to lie, I've been pressed. Games have been coming thick and fast. It's been a busy week in my personal life. I'm one man in it. I'm one man. So you got to allow me, we'll get there. I'm good for it. When I give you a lot of promise, you always seen the thing. So love for Rabona for having me, and thank you for checking that. Like my man said, please make sure you hit the like button. It doesn't cost a thing, but it means the world to me, people. It makes things happen, man. Swear, let's type in Kaya Jarukin. That could be for our next one. That could be for, I need to do my research. Kaya Jarukin, Corinthians. I'm going to take that in soon. Obviously, I'm going to need Google Translate because, it's a myth for me. DG got buzz. I was going to be rude when he said that because I think he's getting at the fact that I speak quite quickly. But I thought, let me lie in it. Let me just say yeah. But big up the members, man. Big up yourself. Hey, where you lot watching from, man? I really appreciate you guys each and every time, man. Hope you're well, my guy. Live stream the under 23 sometimes. Tonight is on the Leicester site for free love for Brooklyn, my G. So like he said, it's on the Brooklyn. It's on the under 23 site. So go ahead and take it in. Streaming the under 23s. I'm not going to lie. I'm not trying to do that today, but it could be something in the future. Why not? And as usual, love for your super chat, man. Bro. If we carries on like this is a madness, man. That's a madness. That's an absolute madness I don't want to be part of, which is quite sad. Big up yourself, man. Seeing you lot going crazy in the like button in the comments, but please make sure you're hitting the like button. Bro, it don't mean anything. YouTube has a reverse button, people. Big up yourselves, people. Big up yourselves. So, yeah, we previewed the Everton game, really. There isn't much to speak about, really. Rihanna said, is it wrong that I'm not sure if I want Arsenal to win because I want a better manager? The logic is a bit wrong, but you're not wrong, but you are wrong. For me personally, I do believe that. I wish you lot knew people in my close circle. I wanted Emery gone, like proper gone. You see the way Curtis is moving? Big up Curtis. You see the way Curtis is moving back Arteta? I was double that with Emery, but I never wanted Arsenal to lose because fundamentally, I don't want my team to lose. I know it's prolonging the pain, but nah, man. I just think that's wrong personally. I think that's wrong personally, but I'm not going to criticize you if that's what you feel. I understand it. Aubameyang has to be central for you. I'm only looking at it as to bring Lacazette in, really and truly. Big up yourself, Glody, as well. You're a fellow North London lad. So I guess you was raised in a toilet seat in Tottenham. Tottenham is a toilet seat. And again, I actually love the area. Tottenham is a local stomping ground where we've all been. But the club, I have to take shots when I can. Big up yourself, Glody, for actually being an Arsenal fan. We've got an Everton fan here. You will win tomorrow. Again, I hope you're right. We need to win. But if I was a betting man, boy. Will said, hope you're having a good day, DG. It's so much better, occasionally horrifying, seeing these responses in black and white rather than having a persuasion of the personality, face twisting it, etc. Don't know, my guy. What is your preferred 11? We've kind of spoken about that already. I'm good, my guy. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. You know, I don't think Lacazette, in hindsight, I agree. He was worth that price tag. And I think, you know, the things we talk about, Lacazette is not what we brought him here for. We didn't, you know, passion, work ethic, desire, big games, making other players look good. These were all things we wanted as bonuses on top of being a goal scorer and things like that. But it is what it is. And I hope that's, man, you know, everyone gets their confidence back against us. I hope we can win. And I hope that isn't the case, really and truly. You know, I'm sure Everton have got players that are underperforming, that haven't been too prolific in front of goal and the rest of it. And they're relishing playing Arsenal, you know. Everton fan, we have done better against the teams in the 5. Will be a hard game. I hope it's a hard game. I hope we can win, but we'll have to see what it's said, man. Abdullah has said, yo, DG, do you think Arteta will give Saliba a proper chance? I don't know. My thoughts on Joe Willock, I like him. I think he could be a squad player, but he's a bit like Eddie Nketiah for me. And I actually love Joe Willock, but you need to start developing and seizing your future, or you're going to be one of these guys that are part of the team, but not part of it. And there's going to be one season people are just going to say, you know what? We're going to just shot you and get a little 10, 15 or so million. So we're going to have to see, man. But yeah, man, let's get one more question in before I keep it moving, people. Like I said, I'll be back at 6 p.m. with an Everton fan previewing the Everton game. So like I said, I've seen 2 Everton fans like Matthew. I better see you there as well, 6 p.m. So yeah, people, man, it is what it is in that regard. Let's see what happens here. Boy, Iwobi's going to turn into JJ Okocha or Ronaldinho tomorrow. You're right. I personally, even with playing, I'd consider leaving because, again, it's great that you're playing for Arsenal, but 60 minutes. You know, you've played a total of 61 minutes. You need to go somewhere or be somewhere where you can play consistently. If that's Arsenal, then remains to be seen. But he needs to be selfish and do what he can. And I know he probably loves Arsenal, but is staying at Arsenal necessarily the best for your development? Only time will tell. So we'll have to see. But on that note, people, I'm going to end this live stream. Please make sure you hit the like button. You know, we've previewed the Everton game. We've gone a bit left and right with a couple other topics, but hopefully I've provided some decent content for you guys, people. Hopefully we can keep progressing. And like you said, you know, 300 until we're at 30K, DG Nation. So if you're not subscribed, please make sure you've hit the like button, people. Please make sure you've hit the like button. You know, trying to ting, my guy, man. Small upgrades here and there. This is what we're doing, man. I tell you, always try and better the product. I'm not just trying to be here for no reason. Unlike some of these Arsenal players, I'm trying to be better than I was yesterday. So yeah, people, man. Please make sure you're there at 6 p.m. I really love speaking with you lot. I'll be back again, people. On that note, I'm out. Hit the like button if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. All links to my socials are in my video description, so please make sure you do that. Love for all the YouTube members that have become members during this live stream, and also the members in general. Love for those of you that have obviously liked already and subscribed already and just offered off your time. So yeah, man. I'll be back again soon, man. But DG, I'm out.